Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, good evening, everyone. You are welcome here in this news geopolitical conference dedicated to world news. In the news of international news, Russia breaks its silence on the America's actions regarding Iran, actions of the United States and of Israel regarding Iran. They have not yet let go of Iran. Israel and the United States of America, you know it very well, are preparing to strike Iran. It goes through all the means. But Russia, which during the week that has just passed, previous week, Russia, which has delivered a huge amount of military equipment to Iran. Russia has been severely criticized in the European capitals. Russia, which believes that these criticisms are not founded. Russia, which believes that the time for silence is over. Russia came out of her reserve to say exactly what happened and what Russia takes responsibility. So it is a harsh truth that the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sergei Lavrov, Minister of Foreign Affairs, foreigners, Russians. These are raw truths that he spat in the face of the West Cat. So what did he say? Concretely, and what he said does fear. It's an assumed truth. It makes fear in Israel. It scares the United States of America, but in particular, Israel is getting chilly as part of this conference, geopolitics. This is current news that we are going to talk about. But as you know, before continuing, I will humbly ask to share the conference in all groups possible. Put a lot of likes and don't forget to leave always your different opinions in comment. There you go. So let's dive in. This is a sweeping statement, all ambiguous. Russia, I wanted to be very clear with America and the whole West and the whole world. There is no longer any ambiguity. Sergei Lavrov, Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs, he said that there were no restrictions on the military technical cooperation between Russia and Iran. He says so clearly that there is no restriction in military cooperation, technical, between Russia and Iran. No limit. The worst thing is that he announced it with precision that Moscow provides and is in the process of providing to Iran all the necessary equipment that Iran needs on a legal basis. So the first part of the information is that Russia assumes to give to Iran everything Iran needs in terms of military equipment. Second, Russia says it is on a legal basis. And the real problem, where does it come from? Iran is sanctioned, is under sanction diplomatic, isolated. There is a formal ban on selling arms to Iran. While Iran is banned, we banned the sale of weapons to Iran. Meanwhile, America and Israel, who think that Iran with its sanctions is now vulnerable, the two are preparing to strike Iran. So what is the partner? Strategic on the military level of Iran will do, but it is to deliver to Iran everything Iran needs. That's it. Russia is under Western sanctions. So Iran and Russia are living the same realities. This is the reason for which Iran has also always taken courage, see you tomorrow, to deliver, in a way, Sentinel drones to Russia. Drones, besides that, Russia used it smart to modify and give the healers who became the stars of this Russo-Australian conflict in recent weeks. So, it must be said that it is an official announcement of the partnership. This is the first time that diplomacy Russian publicly recognizes, publicly acknowledges the lifting of all the brakes in the military field. It's the first time. Otherwise, well, even during the 12-day war, the Russia continued to send military equipment, but in an absolute silence. What's growing? So Russian diplomacy has to publicly affirm, to recognize, it must be said that it depends on the abuse of which France, America and Israel, are giving themselves up towards Iran. Donald Trump announced that he is tending Iran. May its outstretched hand remain always tense. That Iran only has to come. They will negotiate. Thing walk. But Iran is no longer in this logic. Iran has closed all doors since Iran had returned to the breast, had returned. Here is his decision to continue the collaboration with the management. The agency here is the International Agency Atomic Energy, and that Iran had accepted it in order to be able to go to the negotiations. But Iran saw that if this negotiation took place, it would just be to deceive them, disarm them, rid them of all the guardrails, and then the hit hard. So Iran closed all doors and windows. This is where Donald Trump says he waits for him to extend his hand, but the Russia also stands up to say, no, even if you want to do whatever either, but we have an unlimited partnership with Iran. So it must be said that it is a riposte diplomatic. This statement, which comes at the when the United States is strengthening the sanctions on Iranian industry and accused Tehran of supplying drones to Moscow, Lavrov reverses the logic. That is to say, we cooperate in the framework of international law, and this cooperation is legal. America has nothing to say to us. None other Western country has nothing to us say, and we will continue to cooperate. Who will stop cooperation unless that they attack these cargo ships, soldiers who come to deliver the weapons to Iran? But if they do, it is that they started another war at Russia, a war without mercy, without thank you. And so what we have to say is that this is a direct message to Washington and Tel Aviv. Washington is targeted. The United States now see their two opponents' strategic cooperation without limits. So it's a scenario he was trying precisely to avoid. For more than 20 years, America never wanted to see his main adversaries collaborate, because when they collaborate, it makes strong. There you go. And so Israel is in alert since the Israeli army is fearing that the Russian technologies, whether air defense technologies, jamming, missile, ground, air, they are fearing that this technique, these new technologies, Russians cannot strengthen dangerously Iranian capabilities around the Gulf and Syria. But it's a waste of time. Israel can continue to be afraid, to put oneself in alert. The truth is that obviously, and Russia will never stop its cooperation with Iran. Russia will continue to arm Iran. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that was the front page of international news. Thank you for the share as much as possible. I'll get back to you with new news. It was obviously the voice of your humble servant, the Samurai.